Hey guys, how are you? Hope you guys are having an awesome Monday night. Wanted to come in and check in on you all. As you can see, I have my new Tanisha Shanee t-shirts. Loving it. Um, Wanted to just really come on tonight because I know last week I spoke to you all about being faithful, being obedient, and I asked everyone who was watching for the next 7 days to really just continue to be obedient. It could be as small, it could be as large, as big as God needs you to be and to do, and to see how things work out. So I think tonight is actually the seventh day because we started Tuesday. I didn't do that message on Monday. I don't think I did. So I know one person got back to me and told me all the amazing things that has transpired in her life, and I just love to hear things of that nature because it allows me to know that when we come together and we just kind of just work collectively towards being a healthier and happier individuals, and we allow ourselves to be obedient and to follow God's orders, we start to see amazing miracles that transpire in our lives. And I definitely am believing that more and more in my own personal life. So I wanted to talk to you about being uncomfortable. And I think when you are living in your comfort zone, like you are living in that little box called comfort, we tend to stay there, and we want to stay there because it feels good. We are used to it. And the one thing that God has continued to show me is that when I step into my uncomfortable zone, I tend to I touch things that I've never thought I would ever touch. I'm able to accomplish things that I never thought I was able to accomplish because I took that chance and that risk and I went into that uncomfortable zone. Last week, I had someone reach out to me and ask me to pray with them. Now, that morning, it was actually quite interesting because that morning someone sent me a message on Facebook, and that person said to me that they really enjoyed my preaching. And I was really confused because I don't feel as though that I'm a preacher. So that afternoon, for me to receive a message from a young lady that I did not know, she didn't know me from a hole in the wall. We just literally connected on Facebook because of God. And God told me to reach out to her. And I did. And it just quickly just escalated from there. And she reached out to me and she said, "I need you to pray with me." And that was very uncomfortable for me because I've never prayed for anyone. I mean, well, let me correct myself. I never prayed with anyone. I've only prayed for them individually on my own, but I've never taken the step to actually pray with someone, like literally take the phone and say, have a conversation wherever they're located and where I'm at. And that was very uncomfortable for me. And I literally I called one of my prayer warriors and I was like, "Girl, I might need you on speed dial. So I might need you as a three-way for this conversation." I said, "Because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to pray." She said, "No, you do know how to pray." She said, "But now you're a little bit uncomfortable because now you're praying for someone else. You're praying with someone else. So you have to just allow God to use you at this moment." So at that moment, I had to just take that chance. And it was very uncomfortable. And I remember that night, I literally sat on my couch before the young lady called me. And I just said, "God, just use me. Just use me. I don't know how you're going to use me. I don't know what her troubles are. I don't know why you felt the need to use me to allow this person to feel comfortable to call me and to ask me to pray with them. But guess what? I have to do it because, again, I know that I need to be obedient." And I just continue to pray. And then when that call came through, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know if it was the right thing to do. I didn't know it was the right thing to say. I didn't know if it was the right prayer. However, I just listened to what she had to say. And I just allowed God to just work through me. And I allowed that to happen, although it made me feel so uncomfortable. And today, I received a call from her because I wanted to know, hey, what's going on? Like, sometimes you hear people say that they're looking for like a testimony. I wasn't looking for anything. I really was just calling to just say how are you? Because I didn't speak to her in a couple of days. And she said to me, I have something to tell you. And I said, okay. And she said, what we prayed for, what you prayed for me, she said, this is the outcome. And I was just so thrown back because what I prayed basically healed her body. That gave me goosebumps because I never experienced that. I've heard of stories of that nature. I've had people pray for me, especially when I'm in pain, but I've never experienced for my own prayers for someone else to heal them, to heal their bodies. And that just gave me so much confirmation that one, God is a healer. God is a healer. He can heal you with his hands and he can heal you with his words. And what I mean by with his hands is that he comes through us. And when someone is touched and they place hands on you, they can heal their bodies. So for me to experience that and for me to receive confirmations that my little old prayers that I was so uncomfortable about actually did something for this person that was suffering, not for days, not for a couple of hours. I'm talking about suffering for weeks. And within a matter of 24 hours of me praying for this person was able to see a difference in what they were dealing with physically. I can now say that uncomfortable feeling is no longer uncomfortable. And I think a lot of times we have to realize, we have to challenge ourselves to say, I am willing to be used. I am willing to step out of my own uncomfortable feelings, and I'm willing to do what I need to do because I know that it's not about me. Like I keep having that talk, that conversation, that topic is constantly coming up. It is not about us. If you know what you need to do for someone else, it doesn't matter how small or no matter how big it is, do it. Because at the end of the day, the person that is waiting for you to show up for them, it's going to benefit them. And it is something that we have to continue to realize. I didn't want to get on this video. Like literally, this side of my mouth hurts right now. My mouth hurts. I need to go to the dentist. But God said, you have to. And I said, I have to be obedient. And I said, I will do it. So no matter what, it's not about Tanisha. No matter what, it is about someone. I can't see the comments right now because I'm standing a little bit far back from the phone, but I will go through the comments. But I know that there is someone out there who is sitting at home right now or at work or in their cars, and they get this feeling of, I know I need to do something, but I'm a little afraid to do it because I'm not sure if I'm qualified. I don't know if I have the expectations. I don't know if I have enough education. I don't know if I'm an expert in this. But when I tell you, you don't have to be an expert in anything. You have to allow God to just use you. He's going to show up in such amazing ways. He is going to speak through you. He's going to allow you to be the intercessors for it. So that person who is listening, that person who is receiving is going to hear everything that God is saying. The only thing is that that person is hearing your voice. And that's the most important part. That's the part that I've never understood for 32 years of my life. I didn't have a relationship with God. I didn't have a journey. Until now. The last 4 years of my life has been because of God. When I tell people that no matter what, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't open up my heart and ask God to be a part of this journey with me. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be open to any of this. Do you know how many times God has sent me messages and I have been disobedient because I was afraid? God has allowed me to become the person that I'm supposed to be. No matter how uncomfortable. When I hear God speak to me, I have to say, all right, are you sure I'm ready for this? Are you sure I can do this? And I know that no matter what, because I hear him, that I know that I'm qualified. There are so many people that's going to try to tell you that you're not qualified for whatever God is trying to put you at the pedestal to do. But I'm here to tell you that no matter what, if he has called you to do it, you are already qualified. You are already able. You are able to do it no matter what. Don't allow the enemy, don't allow the people that don't believe, the non-believers, the people that's not living their dreams, don't allow them to come in and stop you from doing what you need to do. I used to be afraid to send certain messages because of the fact that I know that some people are not comfortable with hearing the word God. I used to be very uncomfortable with that. And what I used to do is I used to modify my messages so that I can kind of just get around it without using that word. And the one thing that I know for a fact is that those moments when I went around and I didn't use the words God, that I was blocking my blessings. And I can't do that anymore. I can't be uncomfortable about speaking what God has done for me in my life. If I told you everything that I have gone through in the last 14 months of my life, there are some people that have gone through just a fraction of that. And those people would tell you that if they could, they would just kill themselves. And I know for a fact that God put me and he pushed me through all of that. There's been moments when I didn't want to get up. But God said, I need you to get up. Because again, it's not about Tanisha, but it's about the person who's on the receiving end, who's ready to receive that message. Because at that moment, that person is ready to give up. But if I don't show up for that person, they are going to give up. And I don't know if that person is at that ledge and needs someone to pull them back. So when God put his hands on my back and he pushes me, all I can do is show up. All I can do is be that person. No matter how uncomfortable it feels for me. So when I say to you, I'm not speaking because I read it in the book. I'm not speaking because I heard it from someone else. When I tell you everything that I have been doing for the last several months of my life has been extremely uncomfortable. The messages that God has downloaded onto me and I have to deliver those messages, a lot of them are extremely uncomfortable. But I have a duty and I have a responsibility and I understand where I'm going in my life. I used to always say, I knew that what I went through was more than a weight loss journey. I knew it was bigger than that. But I really still didn't want to accept that. So many people was like, just focus on the weight loss, focus on the weight loss. And it is a major part. But I also understand now that there's more that he has aligned me for, he has designed me for. And I have to be open and willing to receive that and to live that. When I tell you, a lot of people who are religious leaders, who are religious servant leaders, however they want to label it, they will tell you they probably were extremely resistant of it. And I'm one of them. And I was one of them. But the more that I have come to understand and I've come to just embody the person that I need to be, and when I say that the messages that people have shared with me has allowed me to just become so comfortable in knowing that this is where I belong. And I can't allow the naysayers. I can't allow anyone else to doubt that. I can't allow anyone to put a false name on it. Someone said to me a couple of weeks ago, oh, so now you're a psychic. I am not a psychic, and I rebuke that because that's not what I am. That is not where I'm going. Unfortunately, it is something that it was a spiritual gift that was placed within me, and I had to come to terms with it. But I'm not going to allow anyone to put a negative name on it. I don't care how it makes them feel. And yes, a lot of times I do have to send messages and I have to tell people messages that might not make them feel good. But at the end of the day, I have a responsibility and I have to ensure that I remain obedient. So if it's uncomfortable, that means that is right. I'm going to say that one more time. If it is uncomfortable, it is right. Now, if it just feels totally wrong and, like something could like really bad happen, then I think you just need to lean and talk to God. But if you know, like you really can do this, then no matter how uncomfortable it feels, step out, do it. At the end of the day, your blessings is going to come. It's going to come tenfold. You're going to receive more than what you have put out. Just by speaking those words or doing that deed, it is going to come back to you. But you have to be comfortable enough in knowing that if you get out of your comfort zone and you go into that uncomfortable feeling and you take that action, you are going to receive more in the end. Yes, someone else is going to reap those benefits, but you're going to receive more in the end. So, I'm Tanisha Shanee, and I am very thankful that I got up, I got past the toothache, and I sent this message, and I did this message. I thank you for those that have been following my journey, that have been extremely supportive of my journey, whether spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Some people have physically been there with me. And I thank you for that. And I thank you for those that actually watch the videos and that they share. And if you feel as though that this message has helped you in any capacity or it could help someone else, I do ask that you share the message. Because I think a lot of the times we just take things in and we don't share, knowing that someone else can actually benefit from this same exact message. So that's the only thing that I ask you to do. You can reach me here on my Facebook page, or you can go to my website, tanishashanee.com, and I look forward to your feedback. Like I said, I'm really thankful and I'm happy for the journey that I am on. I accept the responsibility. I won't fight it. I will continue to cultivate my spiritual gift as I continue to help people to just live a healthier and a happier life. It kind of just folds all into it together. And I'm happy for that. And I'm thankful that I have this opportunity. Again, today I kind of got that feeling, I'm a teacher and I'm teaching computers. And while I enjoy teaching, I kind of just got that feeling like, I like this, but it's not what I really want to teach on a day-to-day basis. And that just kind of just gave me like that push. And I felt like God was just like, so now you get it. Now you get it. Let's just keep with that momentum, because the only way you're going to get to where I need you to be is that you got to keep having those feelings so you can push through. And I think that's the most important part for me, is getting through and pushing through no matter what. Because I know that I have to ensure that the people that I need to connect with, I continue to connect with them. And no matter what, in front of any audience, if I have an opportunity, I will use it to share and to inspire. And I think like just today, I inspired like 4 people. Why? By just, just having a conversation. And I think those are the times that we can kind of, it makes those uncomfortable moments a little bit more comfortable, because it's just kind of casual. When you just do things casually and the conversation just flows, you don't feel like you're doing anything like strenuous. It just kind of goes with the flow. And I think that's the one easy thing that we can do. So if you find those moments, utilize them. Sometimes you don't have to feel like you have to log on and go on a Facebook Live and do something the same way that I'm doing, but you can kind of just do it on a smaller scale until you get comfortable with those moments. So I thank the young lady that called me last week and allowed me to be a part of her testimony. I thank her for calling me today and letting me know how everything has gone. And I thank God for just allowing me to be the person that He needs me to be. And it might have taken me 32 years to get here, but I'm okay with that. I know that I'm a little bit slow in being obedient and having patience, but I also know that, again, this is all a part of my journey. So I'm going to jump off. I'm going to take me some Advil PM and take my booty to bed. But I hope you guys have an awesome Monday night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great, happy, healthy week. Do everything that you can to be healthy. Drink your water, get some exercise, eat your vegetables. And you know me, if it's all about healthy living, and if you're looking for that support, go to my website and you can get started with me. I love you. God loves you. Have a blessed night.